everybody's up. All right, everybody, good morning to you. Let's see how far we can get here. Good morning. Continuing with Terryl Whitlatch's Science of Creature Design. We've got a Parasaurolophus here. Parasaurolophus. So starting off with the skeleton. Try to keep it a little bit smaller so maybe I can get this done a little quicker here. Got about, checking the pages, there's about 2 weeks left in here, so. Let's see, so we'll be working in that area down here. So zoom in on that a bit. And the same thing up there. She might even scoot it over a little bit. And up. There we go. Good morning. We got snow on the ground outside, which is fun. Don't get a huge amount of that, I guess, here in Virginia, but happy snow day, everybody. muscle one in here. I believe I've almost filled out this book. Another one to throw on the stack, right? Good morning, Acme. Should be the Acme of oil painting, right? The proverbial oil painter, right? For which oil painting exists. The acme of the thing, right? I'm studying from, let's scoot that over just a skosh more. There we go. Terryl Whitlatch's Science of Creature Design. It's a great little book on anatomy and kind of how you apply real anatomy to imagined creatures. She's got a bunch of different sections in here, and it's kind of interesting to see kind of what she values. And how that impacts kind of what she focuses on in her book, but also kind of the effect it has on her designs. Scoot that leg back, out that neck. So, but I estimated, I was kind of looking through the book just to see, because I've been working through this one since early September in the mornings here. Pretty much every day. And, you know, some exceptions, you know, with the holidays and travel. Maybe if I were sick or something. But it's been really helpful kind of paying attention to the structures and how they work. And of course, she's a great example of all of those kind of interesting things that a lot of people don't think about when developing their own creatures. And so I definitely appreciate her interest in it. See, that should be higher up. There we go. "10 minutes in, huh? Might have plenty of time to do both pages here. But for now, I guess we'll start with these two. Get them rendered and see what we get out of this, huh? I need some more water in this ink. I think I did leave it open all day yesterday. This is generally a mistake. Right, Bosch? Yeah? Alright. Get some water in there. Stir it up. Clean that off. And let's continue. See if that works a little better. Or if it's the nib. Might be the nib. There we go. Might be just time for a new nib. That's making a mark. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry, Bosch. I know we don't like that. He always finds the sneezing a little unnerving. Which, I also find, but it is involuntary. I think this nib is done. Let's see if I can get it out of there. I need to get like a set of pliers up here. There it goes. It's kind of interesting as I've been going through this process. I've had like a pile of nibs in my kit that I've had for years, decades now, and now that I've been kind of actively using them, been starting to use certain ones up, and it's kind of like when you start using certain pencils or whatever. I'm going to switch to this calligraphy one for today, I think. Just for fun. Change things up a little bit, right? It's kind of nice to kind of slice sideways with this one. I just bought these fresh ones too, not too long ago. So far for me with these ones, it just seems like the trick is like limiting the amount of ink you get on these pretty carefully. There's that foot here, there's that foot there. Good morning. How are we doing? Too much ink on that. Good morning, everybody. Popping in. It's a snow day out there, which is always kind of interesting. So it's turned into sleet, which is not as interesting. So there is that aspect to it. I'm doing great. I spent all of yesterday updating my online materials for my university students. It's effectively done, I think. I put together a pretty thorough, what's called Canvas course for them. It contains all of my lecture notes and student examples and professional examples and links to stuff. And these are dinosaurs. Yeah, I'm studying from Terryl Whitlatch's Science of Creature Design. And I've been studying this for a while. So basically I get up and I spend about an hour. Sometimes I was doing more before, but I decided to kind of limit it down to an hour. Just because I have a lot going on. And kind of started the study process where I've been going through a lot of my old, or not even that old, art books. And actually studying them, not just looking at them, seeing what I can glean, and will definitely, I think definitely helped me improve over the last couple of years since I started this little process. Yeah, but this is getting towards the back end of her book. I've got like 10 or 12 pages left of actual material in here. But basically, I kind of read what the artist has to say. Sometimes it's more instructional, and others, like here, she's kind of just like has some general notes about the type of creature or maybe functional aspects to it. Occasionally, she'll mention things that she likes to pay attention to specifically, and how that is beneficial. Though it's been interesting, some of the things she mentions that are important that I've thought were kind of a little unusual. Like she mentions on dinosaurs, and especially she likes to pay attention to the pubic bone, which in kind of looking at the final renders and things like that's not really that visible, to me at least, as opposed to the ischial bone, the ischium, which is the big butt bone in the back, right there. So this is the pubic bone, this is the ischium. And same, oops, just dragged my finger through some wet ink. I'll have to figure out how to use that. But she seems to think it's really important. And her background's in like animal anatomy and biology, but she's worked mostly in film, which is interesting. She's most known, probably her most famous creation is Jar Jar Binks. She's done a lot of stuff, but that's probably the one. If you had to pick one single design that she's probably known for, it would be that one. And she just designed his look, right? So. But yeah, so I started this little process here. I spent a good chunk of the morning doing these morning studies. I've done other similar ones in the past, like 6 years ago, whatever. I was doing a bunch of vehicles and mechanical things and swapping up my materials every day, which is good too. There's a lot of things you can do as kind of self-improvement study projects. And I kind of like this pen here because it kind of works more like a brush to a certain degree. So it's got like a flat side and like a broad side and a narrow side, sharp versus a broad side. That's got some nice expressive qualities that make it easier to work a little faster with it. And then what I've been curious about is kind of blending this as kind of a starting point, and then bring in the Hunt 102 nib. This is a new nib, so let's see how you're doing. Kind of bring this in for some of the detail stuff. just because you can get such fine lines with it. I kind of like to bounce between a super precise work and more expressive stuff. This is a Hunt 102. So I have some of like those Japanese ones that they have a similar shape to this one, but they're a lot stiffer. And this has a lot more bounce to it, so you can get kind of broader strokes and super narrow ones like that. Where I think the Miro ones, they a lot stiffer. I was using those for a while, just because I thought they were the same thing as the Hunt 102, and then just because they're the same shape. And then I ordered some of these just to see what they're like compared to those, and these have a lot more kind of bounce and flexibility to them, which means you get a broader range of potential expression. It's not that you can't be expressive with other ones, but it's much easier to kind of get the different stroke types and things going in here. Whereas with a stiffer nib, it's more kind of limited in its range. So depending on what you want to do, it can make a difference. But it's the Speedball Hunt 102 is this one. It's a very popular nib for comics and illustration. It's pretty widely used by especially American comic book inkers. All right, that's page 146. So we can get 147 in, huh? Page 146. Yeah, I think it's also. Do I speak Spanish, Mila? Sorry, I do not. No hablo español. Хотя умею говорить по-русски. Irgi snakem na tuviškai. Danhai oge Guangdonghua Ogang Hochoa. So, yeah, sorry, Russian, Lithuanian, some bad Cantonese, or poorly pronounced Cantonese at least, but no Spanish. I would like to learn Spanish, but has not yet. There's only so many hours in the day, and I am a simple person. Yeah, I know Arabic for sure. I wouldn't even really know what it sounds like. I wouldn't even be able to do like the silly versions of it. But yeah, I wouldn't mind learning Spanish. Actually, I'd probably prefer is Italian. It's a little simpler, I think. I studied both of them a little bit when I was traveling in those countries. But non parlo l'italiano. Voglio no tiene time. I spent 5 weeks in Italy a number of years ago, Really hate how time flies like that because it's been a long time. But and so I kind of studied it while I was there on my own. But you know, I didn't really know anybody and all that, so I didn't keep it up. And then I've been busy with other things, so I think that, you know, like, it's good to go there. Those countries, they do have, like, there are intensive language training programs out there for, like, Spanish and Italian and probably for Arabic. These days, Chinese, I'm sure, has them, but or you spend 3 months in like a particular facility and you're only speaking the language and super focused. Um, so I definitely wouldn't mind, but I just don't have time for that at the moment. Got so many things going on all at the same time. One reason I like to do this, because this is like a nice steady thing to do on the daily, and you know, gets the juices going for the day. So even if I don't end up, like yesterday, I spent all day reworking my online materials for my concept design drawing class I do at the university I'm at. So we had, you know, really good kind of inspirational meeting, seeing whatever all the other professors are doing. A lot of them doing really great stuff. Probably all of them are doing great stuff. And but it kind of helped me kind of see what's going on, how to better kind of fit my course in context with what I see others doing. Hopefully take advantage of that, because you know, build a better program for our students, which I think is you know, important. I might be able to move on to the next page too. That'd be interesting. I'll try to do these drawings a little bit smaller and quicker, just because looking, I've got like 2 weeks left. And I wouldn't mind kind of moving on to something else. As good as this has been, I do, you know, make sure I finish the book. I'm almost there, but I'm almost done with the sketchbook too. I think I might switch to my brown paper sketchbook that's been neglected over there. Fill that one up with whatever I do next. Oh, I can use, you know, some white ink and things with it as well. All right. calligraphy pen. Good morning, everybody popping in. Good morning, people popping in and out. Yeah, as usual, do let me know if there's any questions. I don't mind talking while, working. Let's get this guy over and this guy over, so something to lean on. We have a nice little snowy day. It's turned to sleet outside, so that's not as nice. But I guess my dog went back to bed. Decided he had enough of this nonsense going on in here. So that human of mine just talks to himself all day long. What is up with that? Let's get a little detail in here with 102. What I might do first. Trying to experiment with kind of more organic graphic approaches a little bit. So maybe places I know for sure I'd black out, like down here, or like the back leg. Or at least mostly black out. Or like this area here under the stomach. Or here under the bottom of the neck. And then we'll come in with the 102. For the detailing. So what do you think of kind of this approach? enough. Good morning. What is that? Sihem? Alright, that's page, I guess put the page number on there, page 147. She does do these pages where she puts the same drawing twice on the page. One has, you know, a bunch of labels for anatomical spots on it. And then the other one's kind of clean and larger without anything on top of it. So I'm studying from, should be visible in the description, but Terryl Whitlatch's Science of Creature Design. And I've been doing that for the last few months. So I'm going to switch pages here. Maybe I'll bring the drawing I've been working from into view. So you see it's the same drawing at the top and at the bottom. And this is from this book right here. Science of Creature Design. I'm almost all the way through, so I've been working on copying all the pages in here. I am almost to the end, so this is 148. Got about 10-ish minutes left on my planned schedule. It should be pretty good, I think. Let's scoot this back over. And push this up a little bit. Hello, Henry, Nguyen. How are we doing, everybody? Popping in? It's a chilly Monday out there. We've had a big snowstorm come in, and so everything is like covered with snow, but then it's been sleeting, so sleet has been falling, which is a mixture of rain and snow. So now everything's just kind of covered in ice. But we got a good, I think about 3 inches, so around 5 centimeters of snow. Which, yeah, isn't bad, especially for here in Virginia. Thought I'd try doing these drawings a little smaller, maybe kind of go through more of them. So I've been through 2 pages already today of the book I'm studying from. I'm guessing a little bit less, or about 2 weeks left in with this particular book. So let's see if we can't finish this page. Maybe if, that'll be 3 pages. I'm kind of starting to think about the next thing, and getting anxious to jump on that soon, hopefully. And then, of course, I've been back working on my teaching site the last couple months. Started in November, end of November. And I'm still working on the front end stuff, updating some things I've neglected, and then hopefully start working on some new content for the subscribers over there, which is myartprofessor.com. which also let me update kind of the free section area. But it's been processed because I've neglected it for a couple years due to another project I had going on. It just kind of like took me away from it for an extended period of time. But I'm excited about what I've got to add on there. So, yeah, the Xterra project. I've got a few things I need to fix on that, but other than that, yeah, it's all the way done. Alright, I think we'll just finish this skeleton here, get this inked up, and that will be a morning study there. Yeah, it really just occupied like all of my time. Like I had obsessing over it non-stop for a couple of years, and definitely glad I did it. I learned a ton. Hopefully, I've started taking advantage of it starting this year, getting out and painting and little trips with it and things like that. Big trips too, but definitely want to put in for a variety of things this year to further that, taking advantage of it. I do love me some landscape painting, which is what it was built for. And look, a little bot over there on Twitch, huh? But I think it's definitely a purpose-built vehicle, and playing with this calligraphy pen here. I think it's the C1, but yeah, it's for calligraphy, so it's got kind of a flat, narrow tip, and so it's really good if you want to do like broader strokes like that or like that. And then because the flat side also makes it easier to kind of draw longer straight lines. But you have to kind of keep rotating it if you want to maintain the narrow or flat side, wide side. And it does tend to drop off a lot of ink with any kind of pressure at all. You really need a light super light touch on it. This is the Ankylosaur. It's a big armored dinosaur with the club for a tail. Yeah, it's definitely a cool one. One the kids like, because you know, like the idea of whacking things with a big strong tail. But it requires a light touch is all, is the main kind of takeaway. Kind of also get like these double strokes because the tip is actually forked, compressed, but it's forked, which I guess allows you to get kind of broader strokes even with the flat side. It's not like a fixed shape. So which is kind of interesting, especially when you start running low on ink, you can really start seeing the forking on it, which I think could be useful for certain kinds of drawing. But yeah, I was up late last night trying to get all my school homework done since the semester starts up in a week. And so I've been spent a ton of time over the last while. I started actually before I came back to Virginia from my little Christmas vacation trip, and started kind of reworking my schedule and projects and everything for the concept drawing class I've been teaching. And based off of kind of what I saw during meetings at the end of the semester, and takeaways I had from seeing how my class fits in the larger program, things I should be worried about, things I shouldn't be worried about, things I should be teaching, things I could probably focus on better or less just because of what they get in other places. And so kind of went through the whole course to kind of revamp all of that. Hopefully make it a better experience for the students overall. And then we also have some new faculty coming in, so we want to experiment having them basically teach the course the same way I do. We're trying to kind of find a way of getting the students a more consistent experience. So I think that's one of the areas where universities tend to kind of fall behind a little bit, where they could be better at rather, is kind of unifying course materials to help students progress more quickly through kind of standard things. So there's certain things that I think are unchanging for the most part. It doesn't have to be the same. They're different sets of those things. They're not identical, but I think a university could pick the certain things that they think are universal, and then apply that across their curriculum and share that with each other. And I think that by itself would make a high impact for students, because I think there's a lot of people that assume, I think based off of historical philosophical trends, especially related to postmodernism, and actually probably Marxism to a certain degree, since they're kind of related to each other, they tend to kind of have this attitude that whatever someone does is valuable and good and worth validating, and that's just not how things actually work anywhere outside of totalitarian societies. And so kind of having a kind of a centered corpus or body of instructional material, especially I think at the beginning levels, freshman year, sophomore year for sure, some of the junior level courses, kind of getting things, experiences and concepts and practices kind of standardized to a certain degree, what materials they're using, maybe what processes they're using those materials with, so they can kind of measure and see how things actually work and make actual choices rather than just defaulting to whatever it is that they do naturally. And again, that doesn't preclude any kind of room for experimentation or self-discovery or any of that. It just says, hey, these have been found to work. This way of coming up with ideas or rendering things in acrylic or charcoal, or these body parts are definitely worth knowing, and the impact that can have on students, because they allows them to make better choices. And definitely always for that. So, but we're going to call it here. It's 1:05 in terms of the time, and today is the 6th, right? So I've got to finish a piece of paperwork to get that off. And we'll pick up here on page 148 tomorrow. So appreciate everybody that came in, and I'll talk to you next time.